Carlton? Yes, sir. Come get your friend. Come get your friend right now. I don't want her in here anymore. It's not what she don't do. It's not what she do. It's what she don't do. Because she just always, her face has always long like a donkey. And she's just laying down all day. And when I ask her to go on, if she want to go on the road, she don't want to go on the road. Come get your friend. I don't want her anymore. Come for her. Okay, sir. Hey, the topic today is don't judge a book by its cover. There is more to me than you can see. Alright, you see this topic, it was inspired by a personal experience that I had. And this happened many years ago and I still remember it like it was yesterday. I don't remember it for the pain or the humiliation or the disappointment that I felt. I remember it for the lesson that I learned from this. And I'm going to share it with you today. But first, let me say this. Don't judge a book by its cover. No, for real. You can't or you shouldn't take up a book and look at the front, skim through the middle, and look at the back and determine how this book is going to start, what the content of it is, and how it will end. There's no way you can determine and come up with a conclusion from doing that. And just the same way, you shouldn't look at a person and draw a conclusion about where the person is coming from, what the person has been through, the content of the person's life, meaning their experiences, what they have been through, and determine how that person will end up. Or you can't look at the back or where the person is now and determine where the person is coming from or where they have been through. So this story that I'm about to share with you was how I learned that I would never ever judge a book by its cover. Meaning I would never judge somebody just by how they look or how the person is operating, and without getting the background to the person's story. Alright, so as I told you, it happened many years ago. Actually, it was 16 years ago in 2004. Before I left to go overseas to work. But in the meantime, I was having some financial difficulties, medical issues, and relation issues. So if anybody have any idea how those things work, one is enough, much less the combination, I should say much more combination of any two or all three. So I was going through that. I was depressed. I was totally in a dark place. And then what happened is that I was not working. I had to take off the semester from school. I was going to university and I had to take the semester off because of all of those issues that I was telling you about. So now I had a lot of bills to pay. I had no money, and I had a teenage daughter at the time and a almost 2-year-old child to feed by myself, a single mom. And right about that time, somebody contacted me from overseas. It was a family friend that we knew from a while back, and the person had migrated to the USA, and the person offered me a job to stay with an elderly person, to be a companion, so it would be a living job. Of course, what better am I here with the hungry children than going overseas to get some work and come back and can pay off my bills. So because of that assurance I was given, I borrowed more money and bought the ticket to go overseas. And of course I borrowed money and I bought tickets for my daughter so they can join me later on, so I could buy stuff and send them back down for school. Anyway, I want to cut this story very short because it's very long. The first day that I landed in the United States of America, I was almost homeless. First thing, I realized that the person was lying. There was no job. And the person really wanted me to do something illegal. Right? And they knew if they had said it to me, I would not have come. However, I refused, so now there's nowhere to stay and there's no job. So I was homeless and jobless in a foreign country. People, there was another friend that was there that I also know from childhood. The problem is I couldn't stay with either of these people because there were legal issues and police issues going on with their homes, so I wasn't able to stay there. So one of them said, all right, let me ask my sister if you can stay with her. So I was happy that I didn't hear what he said to her, but the conversation went well, and she said, yes, I can come and stay with her. So people, just imagine, remember how I said I was when I left my country? I was in a dark place and very depressed. So you can imagine what my thoughts going forward. When I went there in about 2 days into my stay, remember now people, I have to be eating this lady's food, using her toiletries and everything. I was totally dependent on her. Staying in a room, it was her daughter's room, but because she said her daughter is always with her anyway, so I could stay there. And in about, I think it was a weekend, I went there about the Monday, and the weekend after that, she came to me. I was on the veranda pulling out my hair and refreshing it because my braids really look stale. And she came and asked me if I want to go to a party. I think it was the same night, and I said no. I was a Christian at the time. I'm a Christian now, but I didn't do parties anymore. Didn't ask her what kind of party it was. I just politely said no. And there were so many other things going on in my life. I came up there with a small suitcase. I intended to shop and buy myself some new clothes. So I only had that little small carry-on suitcase. And my hair obviously wanted to be done. I was trying a thing for myself. And I didn't have any clothes. And I wasn't doing party. I was depressed. So I was wondering if she didn't see that. Anyway, I noticed she started treating me like very bad. It was like subtle before, but first she's not talking to me, and then when I say anything to her, she would give me a little short answer, and then she would just ignore me for the rest of the time. Then I started to see certain food put up, like snacks, put up out of my way, and toiletries and those things. And I was saying, Lord, why did I come here? Leave my country. It might as well have stayed there and suffer with people who I know and who would not treat me like this. Anyway, I want to cut the story short. My daughters end up coming there, and the smaller one was supposed to come and stay with me while the other one stayed with somebody else. And I told her that I am leaving to go collect her. When I came back, people, her daughter greeted me with a message. Mommy say the room is no longer available, so she don't know where you and your daughter going to stay. Okay, I don't know how to answer that one. Anyway, I started to cry, and I went outside and I sat on the stairs. That's the steps at the doorway, and I put on a piece of bawling, people. And my daughter was there, and she was saying, Mommy, don't cry. Mommy, why you crying? And she wiping my eyes. And there was a neighbor looking over, he was concerned. You could see the concern in his face, but he did not say anything. Anyway, the brother called me now and said, I am coming for you. And I said, what happened? And him said, don't worry about that, I'm coming for you. You can come stay over my place for a little bit until we can sort out something. Now I am saying, people, it's long afterwards that I found out the conversation between him and her, as you saw in the first part. I'm saying now, why did she decide to start treating me that way instead of trying to find out why I'm sad? What could have caused the problem? What can I do to help? And I just made up my mind that, I would never ever do that to somebody. I would never ever do that to somebody because I don't know what this person is going through. So, a lot of us are guilty of this. We see people with their faces always looking down and they look sad. And instead of asking the person what is the problem and how may I help, we start talk about the person and gossip about them, about the always long face and unapproachable and such and such. And we always make a mistake also with persons who are always laughing and smiling down the place, and we assume, we read them to mean that they are happy and they have it going on, when a lot of these people are the ones who commit suicide. Now, yeah, can you imagine if I came up in that depressed state and this lady decided to make me feel worse than how I was feeling? I could have easily end up on the streets eating out of a garbage bin. I could have easily gone off the edge. So I'm asking you, please, don't make the mistake of judging a book by its cover. Don't judge somebody just based on what you see of the person. If you're not able to help, if you're not able to ask the person, get somebody else to do it. But don't make the mistake, and don't take smiling and laughing to mean that somebody is happy. Talk to the person. Find out what is going on in the person's life. Don't come to any conclusion just based on what you are seeing. Okay? So I hope somebody will reconsider judging somebody just based on what they see. Don't judge people based on what you see, because usually there is more to the person than what you can see. Oh, I had to come back and tell you that I commended the brother for what he said. Have a listen. So what she do now? But you not even ask her. Ask her why she's sad. Why you don't find out why she's sad? It's okay. It's my friend. I'll come for her. Don't worry, I'll come for her.